Good evening, Mayor, councilors, city staff. Good to be here with you. My name is Terry Berkey-Gonzalez, and I'm with Emmanuel Lutheran Church, and I'm also our building team chair. And so with me tonight is, and I think we're getting set up. Are you ready to?
Not quite.
Not right? Quite. Okay. This is Bill Weissman. He's our project coordinator. And so we're going to project a quick PowerPoint to guide us through tonight's conversation about the Woodburn Opportunity Center. We're excited to share this with you. It's been something in concept for a long time, and we're looking to bring it to fruition. A little bit of what we want to cover tonight is bringing you all up to speed on the project, that it is a space that welcomes the multicultural, intergenerational, a community gathering space that is safe for all people, for private events, and also a spiritual home for our church as well as others. We'll update you on our partners and also some future partners and next steps on this project. So a little bit of the backstory. So in 2005, Emmanuel Lutheran Church purchased 8 acres, which is south of Walmart, and at the corner of Linfield and Evergreen. The hope at that point was to build or relocate our church that's existing on Lincoln Street now. And with the 2008 financial challenges, other challenges that happened, that put a big pause on this project. And our building team group reconvened and said, well, what are we supposed to do around 2015? And it really came upon us that God was really drawing us to make something far bigger than a church, a community space. And so with that, we ended up hosting a number of community meetings and heard from a lot of folks of what is it that Woodburn needs. From that, we sizzled it down to basically 3 simple things. One is a place to gather. So when you think about if you want to go out for coffee or you want to gather for a meeting, large or small, where in Woodburn can you do that? Now that Wellspring especially is transitioning over to more of a medical space. So a gathering space both inside and out. Another space is a social service co-locate model. If you're a person who's in need, many of those agencies don't have an everyday presence here in Woodburn, and so they would be sent to Salem or other places. And so the need for social service at a one-stop shop for that. And then lastly, a spiritual space. For our church, we have another church that meets in our space as well. We would welcome other churches to have a spiritual home in this place that we're calling the Woodburn Opportunity Center. Tonight, we're going to be sharing the results of the feasibility study, which was completed last summer. We also have links to that 98-page document on our website, so we can send that to you if you're interested at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. The feasibility study took a couple years, a number of conversations, a number of site visits. And as we were looking for something that was unique to Woodburn, really 3 different models came into being that we visited. One was Broadway Commons. I don't know how many are familiar with Broadway Commons, but it's a great gathering place for coffee shop, small, large events space, and so that was one model. The Dallas Resource Center is another social service agency that works as a really strong co-locate model to help residents in Polk County. And then the Canby Center, which is, again, an outreach in Canby. And of course, Wellspring here in Woodburn has been a great space, but as it's transitioning to the medical, we don't have access to that space. So the space includes all of those items. Let's see. As you can see on the renderings, you'll see Evergreen and Linfield. One of the things that we did a couple of years ago is we did a door-to-door survey of the residents in the apartments and the homes around this area to, again, hear what it is that would be important for them. And of course, a couple people would hoping that it would be a field forever, but likely not to happen. But one of the things that was very visible and a concern is limited parking. There's people parked all over the place around there. So we actually add additional parking spaces to accommodate for that need. The other space that we'll hear a little bit later on is I think every community is looking for affordable housing. And so we're looking at partitioning 2.5 acres off for a affordable housing project that we'll hear more about. Again, knowing that the average prices these days in Woodburn is upwards of $300,000 and $400,000, and not really a first-time home buyer situation. And then the lower left-hand corner is a 2-acre wetland. And maybe, Bill, if you want to forward it to the next slide. The wetland would be, again, another gathering place for picnicking, walking paths, labyrinth, so a community space. Okay. So part of the space, again, is a gathering space, a large event hall that would hold up to upwards of 400 or more people, as well as breakout meeting rooms, and then the spiritual space. And that's basically a summary. As you can see on the screen, the facility that we've had designed is just over 24,000 square feet. And I'm going to have you fast forward to the next one, just so we have time for people to. The budget is just under $10 million. Our church paid for that space in about 3.5 years, which was amazing for a small congregation to pay $500,000 at that point for it. So we are completely committed as a church, all in on this. We voted last year at the appropriate time to sell our current facilities, which is valued over $1 million, and invested into this project. The other funding sources are a community campaign, other foundations, tax credits that we've identified to fund the project. The next slide will talk about who our current committed partners are. So Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action would take the lead role in the space of the co-locate model and social services. Family Building Blocks has also agreed to be part of it. Catholic Community Services, even though they have a bit of a presence in Woodburn, they see the value of being on site. A dental hygiene program through OIT, our preschool, Little Lambs Preschool, our church in Ponte Vita, as well as we've had a number of conversations with Love Inc. over the years of having a presence there. And I know there's some transition with leadership there, but we've visited with Ryan, and he sees that as being a valuable space to share for education and training through Love Inc. Potential partners that are in discussion right now are Northwest Senior and Disability Services. They currently host the Meals on Wheels out of the Presbyterian Church, but there would be some advantages of having a meal site there. Chamber of Commerce, there's some opportunities to support businesses, whether it's business meetings, mano a mano. The Woodburn School District is always looking for after-school programming and probably some training space. Farm worker housing, again, we've talked to them about developing that 2.5 acres of affordable housing. And then a couple other community groups of Perpetua Community, as well as the Russian Old Believers and the larger Latinx community. So, because we had 15 minutes, we've got some folks that are online that we'd like to have speak. And the first person that I'd like to have share is from Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action. This is Ashley Hamilton, and I've given Heather a cover letter that she'll distribute from Ashley. But hi, Ashley.
Hello, am I free to take it away?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So good evening, Mayor and City Councilors. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to be here today. My name is Ashley Hamilton. I'm the Program Director with Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency, overseeing our Housing and Community Services Department. As a representative of Community Action Agency, I'd like to express our sincere support for the Woodburn Opportunity Center and their pursuit of adopting a co-location model as a mechanism to address poverty. As a federally recognized community action agency, we are charged with developing anti-poverty systems for our service area of Marion and Polk counties. This comes in many forms, such as housing, energy services, youth engagement, as well as childhood development and education. Our outcomes are dependent on providing a continuum of services which not only support the core function of our agency, but also fellow service partners and, most importantly, the community. As Mid-Willamette Valley has grown, it has become clear that rural communities and households struggle to receive adequate service support. and we want to be a part in changing that. As an example, currently 116 Woodburn households await COVID rental assistance, making up less than 3% of all applications in the regional rent assistance system. Simply put, when adjusted for poverty, Woodburn is accessing and receiving a disproportionate number of services compared to their urban counterparts. Unfortunately, this trend is not isolated to just housing or community action. It covers the whole spectrum of anti-poverty service delivery. But there is something that we can do to address this inequity. Through the development of the Woodburn Opportunity Center, a thriving resource center can be created, one that brings multiple service providers together in a shared environment to increase accessibility, as well as provide an enhanced and multidisciplinary service experience. Once constructed, WAC will centralize providers, allowing for the coordination of care through case conferencing and the leveraging of resources for persons experiencing crisis. This model has been successfully adopted in Polk County for many years through their Family and Community Outreach Department, of which Community Action is an active partner. With Salem-based services eager to expand, coupled with the growing need for anti-poverty systems in rural communities, Community Action strongly believes that a similar co-location model would thrive within Woodburn. To promote this work, we are committed to the responsibility of managing the WAC facility, working to bring vital partners to the table, and creating internal workflows to enhance the client experience. As a representative of Community Action, I support the future development of WAC, a partnership which will create a local venue for assistance to the area's most vulnerable populations. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. John Zobrist, our Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, had a few thoughts to share.
Thank you, Terry. Good evening, Councilor, Mayor. Really appreciate the opportunity to chat a little bit about this tonight. I've been following and been involved in the planning process with this concept for a couple of years now. And I think it serves a great need in our community for that meeting space. We have been anxious and wanting to develop some type of a business resource center to address the ongoing needs of the business community and budding entrepreneurs here in the community. And we like the idea of a Broadway Commons style facility where you could have the meeting space and do conferences and meetings, maybe some touchdowns, some conference rooms and other things. And potentially at some point in the future, it may be a great place for us to locate. But at this point, it's more important that we have a facility like that because there's just such a need with the Wellspring / Legacy facility offline, our community center not available. With the growth that we're having, this type of a facility is integral to our community moving forward. We wholeheartedly support that and the efforts that they're trying to undertake. And as far as the chamber, it's not just about helping business, it's also about helping community. And this type of a facility could be very, very instrumental in giving some of that places where, they have the low income housing component now, they have the meeting space, once again, the Broadway Commons style place where people could come and drop in, have coffee, meet, rent meeting space. I just can't say enough about where it's at currently. We're 100% in support of the idea, and any support that you can provide would be greatly appreciated.
Thanks, John. And then Meg, who is the Executive Director for Farm Worker Housing and also is speaking on behalf of Alianza Poder, which is a group of 11 Latinx groups. Meg, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Terry, Mayor, City Councils, and staff of Woodburn City. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here. Want to make sure that everybody can hear me. I have having problems with my computer today.
We can hear you.
We're all okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I am today representing not only the Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation, but our collaborative network of 11 organizations called Alianza Poder. Among them, Capaces Leadership Institute, PECUM, Mano a Mano, Latinos Unidos Siempre, Centro de Servicios para Campesinos, Mujeres Luchadoras Progresistas, Silent Kaiser Coalition for Equality, Evolve Property Management, K2E Radio, and the CLE. These are the organizations that we have been looking very closely to this project. We are in support of it. Piggyback on what John was saying, we think that this is an opportunity for get together as a community of a diverse population. This area, this center, will be a key point for all our communities to meet and to greet. Our personal interest in this project is obviously the housing. And I sent some data that just give us an idea for all of us to know the median income in Woodburn. And some statistics getting out of the 2019 census data. The median household income for Woodburn is $50,000 versus Marion County $59,000. The median gross rent in Woodburn is $1,029 versus Marion County $985. The median monthly owner cost for homeowners in Woodburn is $1,500 versus Marion County $1,500. The median value of an occupied home is in Woodburn $205,000, in Marion County $247,000. The number of people living in poverty, and this is a federal property level, in Woodburn is the 18%, compared with Marion County as a whole of 12%. Recent data also shows that the median sales price for homes in Woodburn reached an average of $400,000 this month. And the median home is only in the market for 5 days. It's incredible. Home for sale right now are an average of $385,000 for a 2 or 3 bedrooms. As you can see, with the median income price that we have in Woodburn, there is not a lot of opportunities for low-income individuals, including seniors, to access and to create a wealth through housing and home ownership. The median home price has raised over 80% in just a couple of years. And for those who have been following the home ownership work in recent years, we all know that right now people are paying $20,000 to $30,000 above the cost of the house. We also have a challenge in Woodburn is that our per capita share of household at lower income levels than the county. We have 18%, guys, in persons in poverty, and this is a federal level. It's very challenging for us at this point. The market is hot. We all know it. House don't stay in the market for more than 5 days. And again, they go really above the market or the cost that the market puts out. And based on all this information, and in working closely with the church, we have agreed that homeownership will be the best interest of the community at large. The potential for low-income families to create some wealth for their families. For this and for all the benefits of this project, FHDC, Farm Worker Housing Development Corporation, and the coalition of the AP supports this project. Thank you.
Thanks, Meg. So just to wrap, wanted to share this project with you, garner any support. Obviously, it's going to take a community effort to pull this together, but it's something we need. And we've been in conversation with this Mayor Swenson, as well as previous mayor, about the city's community space, which is more of an active recreation model. And it's been our opinion all along that both spaces need to exist. Both should exist really now. We look at other communities our size that have those type of amenities. And so we are in support of both of them coming to fruition. So with that, thank you for your time. Any questions?
Can I ask you, Mr. Mayor, thank you and congratulations on the work you've done. You know, I've watched this over the years too, and the rendering is just so impressive. The city has been talking with the Chamber of Commerce about a business resource center, and we've got the chamber director on the line. I guess, could this facility satisfy that need as a business resource center to locate the types of business services, John, that we've talked about creating a space for? Is that a partnership that could accommodate that?
Well, we won't know until, we get closer to the building. Any space where everybody is together and working on, helping each other is great. As far as the actual space in the facility for the Business Resource Center, I don't know, but I am definitely know that having our information and having things there, information for people, directing them to us. If we decide not to locate there, we can certainly be a partner in utilizing that space and making use of it. And so either way, it's going to be a definite plus for the community.
It sounds like maybe there's an opportunity there that could be further
Oh
explored.
yeah, we would welcome that opportunity for them to be there, absolutely.
And we're not throwing anything off the table. We're looking at all options as to home our Business Resource Center. And so we've been involved in this program and this process now for a couple of years with that in mind. And so as we get closer to the build and looking at all the different tenants and what spaces are available and what that looks like, we can probably make some better decisions about whether or not that's an adequate space for us. But regardless, it's a required and necessary type of facility for our community. As Terry mentioned earlier, the community center that the city's working on does have meeting space. Wellspring legacy is there, but we don't know how long it's going to be there. And we desperately need this type of multi-use meeting space for the community at large. And so the two can certainly coexist. And I have all great hopes that we can all work together to make this happen.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, there are a few more people moving to Woodburn in the next couple of years, so
Yes.
I would probably second the fact that more is fine. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Bill.